Hello everyone, Mocha Bear here. Welcome back to Mocha Bear's Hobby Den. Today we're going to be talking about my Warhammer 40k Space Marine captains that I've been painting. Shall we get started? Alright, so if you've been following me long enough, and again, I know I've said this multiple times. I said, okay, I'll be moving on to D&D and other tabletop RPG stuff, but yet, Mocha, why are you still talking about Warhammer 40k? Because I have still been more involved in that lately than I have D&D, sadly. Mainly just because, yeah, I've been playing. I've been playing on Sundays. I've been running on Sundays, and I just recently started a new in-person campaign, a homebrew. We've only had one session. We're hoping to have our second session later this month, actually, the time you're watching this, because I am still at Otakon at the time of this video's release. Lately, especially if you've been watching my live streams, I've been streaming painting the Warhammer 40k Armageddon 11th edition launch box set captain. There we go. So this is what I've gotten done. The inside of the cape, the back of the cape, the helmet, the Aquila, the iconography on his shin. If it will focus. There we go. So I've been working on him. Now, I did off camera paint Space Marine the captain in Jump Pack. There we go. And as you can see, I did the Aquila, the arms in white, but I forgot that I wanted to do the helmet in white. And so I'm debating, do I want to paint the helmet white or leave it black? Because I will definitely be wanting to get another captain with Jump Pack, and I'd probably paint that one. My thing is, I'm thinking about if I get multiples of like the same kind of model, because you're not going to have multiple captains of the same company, because of course red is the third company. This one is also going to be painted third company. Of course, he's just going to be on the ground on foot. So I'm thinking if I get multiples of the same type of model, I will paint them. I'll paint one of each in the third company, but then if I get a duplicate, I'll probably, unless it's a multi-kit like this one, it can be built multiple different ways. So maybe I'll build them all in that way and just paint them all third company. But if I get one that's just one weapons list, it only has one selection of options for weapons, then I'd paint that for a different chapter or a different company of the Raven Guard. But do you think, first of all, should I go ahead and paint the helmet white like I did for this one? Because I'm also going to paint his arms and pauldrons white like I did this one. Or should I just leave the helmet black? So that way I have like a different captain, named captain for different games. I'm curious what your thoughts and opinions are on that, especially if you are Raven Guard players. I'm curious what your ideas are for your models. If you are a Raven Guard player and you have your models painted, I would love to see them, even if they're not painted in the traditional black. I would love to send them to my Instagram. Please, I would love to see them. In fact, I will make a post over on my Instagram. Hopefully, it should be up by the time you are watching this, and it will be a picture of these two models in their work in progress. Please comment down below on that post showing me your armies. And if you're not a Raven Guard player, if you play another Space Marine chapter, or you play a Xenos or Chaos, some other Imperium, I would love to see what you all do, because you don't have to paint them a specific pattern if you don't want to. I've seen this one content creator, she paints her Tyranids pastel, and they are fantastic looking. I've seen people do pastel and bejeweled of different things. I've seen Hello Kitty Space Marines. And then you've got, for Space Marines in general, you have homebrew chapters. I would love to see that. And then, of course, with like Necrons, my Necrons are painted a custom dynasty. I got started during 8th edition. So 8th edition, our codex showed representation of other dynasties, but that were in the lore, and then some that the Games Workshop employees made up themselves. I came up with one my own, where their color scheme is silver and Death World Forest green, and of course, Tesseract Glow. My Imatech the Stormlord, I did a stream of painting him. His pauldrons I screwed up. Originally were supposed to be the Death World Forest green, but I ended up doing the front that color. I believe the front were that color, and the back is gold, or vice versa. And so I forgot what I was doing while painting, so I'm eventually going to change that to where instead of gold, it's going to be Death Forest green. But I would love to see all the work you all do. Now, the main reason that this video is coming up today is because time restraints. Again, I am, at the time of this video's release, at Otakon still. It's the last day of Otakon, and I have been preparing stuff for my gaming channel. I've been filming and editing almost nonstop, so I have a lot of extra work to do over there. With here, it's more simple, per se, to film. It's quicker to film here, but longer to edit. I want to do something that would get people engaged, and since, again, Warhammer is up and down lately, it's more up because of the new edition launch. I did streams. My last 2 videos were streams of painting this captain model from Armageddon, the Armageddon captain with a relic shield. It got me thinking, a lot of you haven't posted, like I've said before, or requested before, your models. I want to see your armies. And again, I want your advice. Should I go ahead and paint the helmet white? Because I am going for like the more of the chapters of the champion of the Raven Guard look, having him as a veteran of the 3rd Company, where I know veterans typically have white helmets, and some will have the trim of the pauldron white. Caven Shrike, for example, he's got a white helmet and white the arms are white of his armor, but his pauldron trim is red because he's with the 3rd Company. And now that he's no longer the chapter master, he's again, I believe he is back to being the captain of the 3rd Company. I'm thinking that I might want to redo it, but I do like the silver on black as well. I do like it. And I super glued the jump pack onto his back after I'd finished painting him. And then I realized that after like 2 days, I actually realized that when I was starting to paint him, I was like, ooh, I forgot. It was suggested to me to put him in the freezer because the cold would break down the adhesive of the super glue. So anyone who's experienced with that, is that true? Of course, I can always look it up myself, but if any of you out there have done that before, has it worked out for you really well? Like I said, I still need to paint the base that of the stone that he's on, and I want to do the texture paint here because I think I've decided that I am gonna do for the Raven Guard. They are going to be painted on the Armageddon bases, where it's going to be the brown stone and desert look. My salamanders are still going to be on like a volcanic base setup. And I learned Armageddon has that kind of setup as well of biome. So it's like, oh, perfect. So they can fit into Armageddon easily. I just need to start painting them. But yeah, I want to know what y'all opinions are on should I paint the helmet white? And of course, I'll have to redo the silver wreath and the red lenses. Or is it fine black helmet? Again, I could always decide just to get a second model and build it the same way and paint it that way. Because like I said, you don't have to build and paint them, you don't have to paint them that specific way. This would be acceptable as a captain on the tabletop at a tournament, without a doubt. Especially if I were to go with the Armageddon route, where the Space Marine chapters have been having to scavenge for parts. And we could say that he had to scavenge a new helmet and got a black captain's helmet, or even a lieutenant's helmet, and just painted over the stripe to make it black. You can easily go with that. If you all have been following me long enough, you know that, again, I've got Raven Guard, I've got Salamanders. I just recently started Space Wolves, and I broke down and have decided it's not gonna happen this year. I might start collecting some models to go for it, but Next year, I'm officially going to be starting the Cocaridons, the space sharks. I will have 4 Space Marine chapters. I know, disgusting. My wallet. But yeah, that is the premise of this video, is talking about my captains of the Raven Guard and the jump pack, or the captain with jump pack. Should I paint his helmet white? Will putting it in the freezer break down the adhesive of the super glue so I can take the pack off? Have you all been watching my streams of painting the Armageddon captain? If so, what do you think? If you've not checked them out, go to the live tab here on my channel and watch them. They're roughly 2 hours each. Feel free to go check them out. Watch them in fast forward, or in fast forward through them, like watch them in a faster speed. Next Sunday is probably going to be another short video, because I am going to be at a steampunk convention. And unlike how with Otakon, I'm coming back home today, the day of this video's release. Next week, I won't be coming home till Monday. So definitely going to have to figure out what I'm going to do and film that before I leave on this Thursday. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, short, sweet, simple video, 10-minute video. I hope you all enjoy it and find it interactive. Again, please send me over on my Instagram. It's Mocha_bears_den. Mocha_bears_den is my Instagram. I will have a picture of these 2 captain models on there. Post your pictures of whether they're a work in progress, even if they're a pile of gray. I don't care. I want to see what y'all doing. If you've got custom lore to them, I would love to hear what your lore is for them. I would love for everyone to interact with each other. I'm curious to hear about y'all's like your lore, your favorite models, why they're your favorite models, why is a chapter or a faction your favorite. I would love to hear from you. So please send those to my Instagram. But please give this video a like, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, and hit the bell icon. Set notifications to all, get notified when I upload videos and do live streams. And also, please, feel free, if you want, I will have the same picture of my captains. I know I'm back and forth. Will be posted here on my, I still call it Twitter. It's Mocha Bear Den. Mocha Bear Den, one word. And it is Mocha's capital, Bear's capital, Den's capital. But the links should be down below anyway. So feel free to post and comment on the picture there if you have that instead of Insta, or vice versa. I want to hear from you. Also, please comment down below what you think about my captains for the Raven Guard, what you think I should do for the helmet. Should I leave it black? Should I paint it white? What do you think would be a cool addition to this model? Again, I am planning on trying to continue streaming it 2 weeks from today's video. So not next Sunday, obviously, but the Sunday after. I'm planning on trying to wake up early enough to stream again to paint. I'd love to hear from you. And please lastly, share this video, bring awareness to my channel, and continue to help me to grow. Gonna go ahead and end it here, so please always take care of yourselves. And until next time, hobby on.